If you have a United States passport and are planning to visit the United Kingdom on or after January 8th of 2025, you will now need an electronic travel authorization in order to enter the country. Now, this requirement is if your visit is going to be 6 months or less. It will cost you £10 per person to apply for this authorization. And yes, every individual person who is traveling is going to need this travel authorization, including children under the age of 18. Now, once your application is approved, it will be good for a 2-year time period. Now, the only catch is if you do receive a new passport in that 2-year time frame, you will need to apply for another travel authorization. Before you do submit your application, you will need the following things. So one, you will need your passport, a form of payment, whether it's a credit card, debit card. They also take Apple and Google Pay. Now, if you are submitting an application on behalf of someone, so for example, a minor child or your spouse, they will need to physically be with you as well, as you will need to be able to scan or take a picture of their face. According to the UK's official website, it is currently taking 3 business days to receive a decision on your electronic travel authorization application. But if you already have plans to travel to the UK, your travel arrangements are booked, I would submit my application sooner rather than later in the event they are taking longer than the 3 business days listed on their website. But if for some reason you do decide to wait until the last minute to submit your application, you can still apply for your electronic travel authorization and still travel to the UK. Even if you have not received a decision on your application, you'll have to just see what happens regarding your application once you get to the airport. You will not need to apply for an electronic travel authorization if you are a citizen of Ireland or of the UK, if you have dual citizenship, if you have a visa, or if you have permission to live, work, or study in the UK. And this is why it is so important to double and triple check the requirements to enter a country before you leave on your trip. I know sometimes we book these trips months in advance and we think we're okay, but as you get closer to that departure date, just double check to see if the requirements have changed. So you might still have time to apply for whatever authorization or visa you might need. If you do have a United States passport, I highly recommend going to travel.state.gov to double check what the requirements are to enter certain countries as a United States citizen.